Here are 4 serve tips you can copy from the best college player in the world, and I bet you've never heard of tip number 4. Tip number 1, I want you to pay attention to the racket angle when you begin serving. Notice his strings are facing up at an angle, right? And since he's right-handed, they're facing up to the left. That's because he's using the proper continental grip. If you look at video footage of your serve and you notice that your strings are facing down at the beginning, you are not using a continental grip. You're using a forehand grip. When you watch most pros, most high-level players, their strings are facing up at the beginning of the serve. Not all, but most. And it's not 60%, it's like 90%. When the racket faces open, it ensures that you've got the proper continental grip. Start serving this way and you'll see a big difference in your ability to hit spin and speed. The second idea, I want you to pay attention to how your racket is rising and compare it to Michael here. Notice right now his racket is going to go up and it's going to hit the birthday hat. Watch his racket come right in over the head. But as the racket is rising, it's always in front of his body. So here his racket is in front of like his, we'll say his belt buckle. Here his racket is in front of his chest. Here his racket is in front of his face. And then the racket comes in and hits the birthday hat. If you watch yourself serving and your racket goes way back behind you and your strings are facing up, right? In the waiter's tray, you're simply not going to hit your biggest serves. So after you toss the ball, work on lifting the racket with your hand on top of the grip, elbow pointing back. Vic Braden came up with that 60 years ago. It's called elbow the enemy. And your strings are pointing down as if you have a ball in the throat of the racket. This gets you primed and ready to use the most powerful service motion, the racket that passes in over the head, hitting a birthday hat. You get 360 degrees of potential movement of the racket, so the racket really gets to swing fast, and you get a lot of speed like a throwing motion. If you are going across your feet in the waiter's tray back here with your strings facing the sky, you are simply not going to hit your biggest serves.
When you're out practicing serves by yourself, don't you wish there was a tennis coach nearby who could watch you serve, tell you what you're doing incorrectly, and then how to fix it right on the spot? Well, guess what? That tennis coach you're looking for is on your phone. Introducing Bert, the AI tennis coach who watches you serve, tells you what you're doing incorrectly, and then how to fix it. It's so simple. You just film yourself hitting serves, and then Bert, your AI tennis coach, analyzes your technique, your knee bend, your toss, pronation, everything, and tells you what you're doing incorrectly so you can start fixing it right on the fly. When you work with Bert, your serve goes from this to this. Check out Bert in the description. I'm also going to pin Bert in the first comment.
Tip number 3 that you can copy from Michael's serve. I want you to pay attention to how long your tossing arm is staying up. Many rec players drop this tossing arm too early, but also many rec players keep this tossing arm up for too long. What you want is for the racket and the tossing arm to come down together. Notice how the racket and the tossing arm drop simultaneously. That is perfect. If your tossing arm drops too early, meaning before your racket drops, you will lose your shoulder angle, like this beautiful like front shoulder higher than the back shoulder, and then it makes it harder to hit topspin or swing up into the serve, and you'll pull down into the net a lot. But it's just as detrimental actually to keep that tossing arm up too long, where the racket drops, but the tossing arm is still up because that doesn't allow you to uncoil. Check video footage of your serve. Make sure that the racket and the tossing arm are dropping at the same time, and you'll ensure that none of those problems occur. And then tip number 4, this is a general concept idea here. I want you to notice that with Michael's serve, his racket and his body are going in opposite directions. Check this out. I want you to notice that his racket goes up, so watch his racket go up. Now, while his racket's going up, notice his body is going down. Pay attention to his head and the fact that his head is going down, and that's because his knees are dropping, right? His knees are bending. But watch how as the body goes down, the racket goes up. Check this out. So as the racket goes up, his body goes down. Compare it to his head. His head is going down, the racket's going up. Well, now they're going to go in reverse. Now the body's going to go up and the racket's going to go down. Check this out. Body up, racket down. Then you hit. See, when you serve, you have to have this rhythm of body and racket going in opposite directions. As the racket rises to the birthday hat, your body is sinking down to load up the legs to get ready for exploding up. And when you explode up, as the racket's dropping, which we see there, you get this beautiful racket drop, this awesome shoulder stretch, and then you get a ton of racket speed into the serve. So overall, make sure that when you film yourself serving, that you're working on bending the knees as the racket goes up to the birthday hat and then exploding up so that the racket is always going in the opposite direction of your body. Now, right here, obviously, they're not going to go in opposite directions because it's time to hit the ball. But I'm just talking about as the body goes down, the racket comes up. As the body goes up, the racket goes down, and then you're going to hit your best serves possible. So click right there to check out Bert so you can get your serve analyzed and start playing your best tennis today. Go out and film yourself serving. Check the footage and compare yourself to the NCAA champion. If you do, there's no doubt you're going to gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.